But my recommendation for anyone who is interested in the game is don't play it. The game is trash. So let's go over our main dish for today, right? Solo leveling will become Netmarble's new cash cow, company executive says. Now, when I saw this, I left a tweet saying that I hated Marvel. I left a tweet trust-talking Netmarble, right? Now, Ali Jane saw my tweet and he was like, Sefhi, I understand that you are a hater, but explain to me why the cash cow term, where it comes from, and what they are referring to. Because we as players will see this and we will see it as they are trying to just milk us, right? Because the term cash cow looks like you're trying to milk us. So what does this mean in terms of an actual marketing term, right? An actual company. So Ali was like, okay, Seth, let me explain to you. And he sent me like what it means. Business analysis model, cross-section of market share and market growth, as you can see in here. Right? Pretty cool, pretty cool. If you are in a low market, let me put it this here so you guys can see both things, If you're in a low market growth with a low market share, it's a dog. So for example, what could be like a dog market? So we can understand this better. Path to nowhere. A small community, right? Not gonna have a super big growth because how the game works. You are in a dog market, which again, it's not bad, I'm just saying, right? If you are in a high growth but low share, it's a question mark. If it's large share but low growth, it's a cash cow. And of course, a star is large share and large growth. They expect to have decent relative market share with it, but don't expect the gacha market to grow significantly at a high pace to making it a very stable source of income. So cash cow simply means very stable source of income. Right? Why is it called dog? I don't fucking know, bro. I am not the one who made the term for this marketing theory, right? I'm just explaining it, but because to me it sounded like, and it sounds like a fucking cash cow is something that you want to milk for money. It has another meaning, but for me it will be the other one. Let's talk about Netmarble a little bit. I'm gonna be making my review when it comes out in 2 days, but my recommendation for anyone who is interested in the game is don't play it. The game is trash. You have to literally log in the game for at least 3, 4, 5 times a day in order to do all of your dailies. If you wanna min-max everything you have to do, you have to play multiple hours every day. And the problem is not you have to play a lot, because a lot of times we complain that we want something we can play more, right? The problem with solo leveling is that you have to play a lot, but what you get in return is not. Like literally, you will be constantly getting the worst possible artifacts, relics, etc. So it's not worth it. The game is not worth it right now. They are also implementing a lot of monetization, extra monetization on release that was already data mined. So not only they are changing monetization and becoming a lot more aggressive on global release, but they are also putting some of those quality of lives behind the monthly cards. So in my opinion, unless you really, really, really love solo leveling, I do not recommend the game. And this is coming from someone who already has like every single character and everything else in, right? Like we're covering the game. This is coming from someone who loves solo leveling, but I would not recommend.
Fast as possible, easy.
Yeah. So let's go into this article and what they're saying, and then let's comment a little bit on this. So Netmarble is confident that its new game, Solo Leveling Arise, based on the globally popular web novel and webcomic Solo Leveling, will be its new cash cow. This sounds so bad every time you say cash cow. The action role-playing game has already recorded over 12 million registrations, according to its executive. As usual, pre-registration milestones, take them with a grain of salt. It's a good reference, but never take them seriously. The reception towards the game in Korea is hot, and it's based on the Korean online content, not only in Korea, but also in Japan, the United States, France, and many other countries around the world. Bro, get to the point. These bullshit paragraphs, just put more text in, I swear to God. We're seeing a lot of support from fans of Solo Leveling who are enjoying the growth of Sun Jin Wo. If you go to the official Discord, it's mostly, there is a lot of support for the game because people like it, but there is a lot of negativity because how grindy it is in contrast to what you are getting. Again, the problem is not getting a grindy game. The problem is what you are getting in return for that grind. Just as the 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross recently surpassed 1 billion in cumulative sales based on its global popularity, we believe Solo Leveling Arise can also become an important cash cow for Netmarble by attracting many global users. This fucking company, I swear to God. I mean, this should tell you all that you need to know. If you've played 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross, right, Solo Leveling will get the same treatment sooner or later, like 100%. Netmarble, it was obvious that at some point they were going to be going hard into monetization and just trying to milk as much as possible Solo Leveling, but it looks like they are not even waiting like 6 months or 3-4 months. They're going from the get-go, changing everything. Right now, the game on the current state is pretty good. If you enjoy solo leveling, they are adding a lot more monetizations. They are adding a lot more systems to gauge you in terms of progress and how much you can do. So we'll see how it does after 3 months. The first month is going to be making good money. Every gacha that comes out of the first month is always going to be inflated so that revenue will take it with like a grain of salt, and we'll see what's going on after that, right? The director said that the continuous attempts to turn online comics into games like Tower of God New World can be attributed to changes in mobile games consumption trends. This is a good way of saying we're making good money by milking popular IPs, so we'll keep doing it. Yep. Just as short form videos have become more popular, mobile games with the genre of idle games are also increasingly receiving good responses for their low commitment nature. Oh no. I feel like it's a double-edged sword, right? I don't think people, even us, we can talk about how shit most of the gacha games are, right? We enjoy them, we're gambling addicts, but at least we know what we're playing. I wouldn't say this is something good, but this is what it is. For them, it's good because it's a really good way of making money by just constantly taking popular IPs, making a mobile game, making an idle. It works, nice. It doesn't work, close it, make a new one. They have made already like 3 games or 2 for Tower of God. So we'll see the same thing happening over and over again. If there are online comics with good sources suitable for gamification, developing them into games has a high chance of success. The high global recognition of the comics was also an important factor in our choice. Moon added that the animation version of Solo Leveling is getting a second season, which could lead to a meaningful increase in the number of new fans worldwide. 100%. The first season did super well, they released the game, and now start working on the second season. So it does make sense. You will get the spoil though. If you want to play the game, feel free to. It's pretty nice if you are a fan of Solo Leveling, but you will get spoiled. The game does a good job at presenting the story, but something to take into consideration. The Netmarble director continued that the company would pursue a China release if conditions allow. The release of the second season of the animation is expected to be an opportunity for the Solo franchise to gradually expand and extend through co-marketing with the game. We think this will lead to interest in the game, the director said. They're also adding a lot of paid skins, more packs in the shop for weapons for the characters that you can only buy with money. A lot of weird stuff. We'll see. We'll see how much they add into the release and how much of those data mines are maybe future releases or something that they completely scrap. Right? Two things, by the way, because they mentioned something important here. We are creating an expanded world within the boundaries that do not harm the original. This is cap. There is already 2 original characters, not in the manga, both waifus. I wonder why. And there is already data mined another 4 or 3 that are also original. Because the reality is that Solo Leveling has few characters that you can put on a gacha and get like a big roster, right? Let's be real. What, 30, 40 characters? After that, what do you do? How do you keep milking the audience? You either make characters that look super good, or you either make characters that are completely broken and are original. You cannot do anything else. Or they go into way of just making alts constantly. So we'll see. But it will end up harming the original sooner or later. Because there is only so much story that they can go through, right? When they finish the story, they need to keep releasing events. So we'll see what they do. There is also a lot of weapons that they are monetizing already, Trauma. In the original, Jinwo only uses his daggers. In the game, he can use every type of weapon, and they are creating weapons that weren't even in the manga. So again, some of the stuff is cool. I don't really mind depending how they handle it, but sooner or later it will end up harming the original. And also, we already talked about this, but they are using AI for a lot of the stuff in game, mostly for 2D and for promotional stuff on Twitter. I assume also in other social media platforms, but we only check Twitter. They say that this is to improve the productivity of game production, accelerate development, and block abusers in real time. I'm not sure how you are blocking abusers by using AI in your game. But hey, you do you. Now that they said that, by the way, the game is full of hackers. This game has more hackers than Nikke, and similar to Nikke, they are only banning the people at the top of every server. Every server, the top players, is filled with hackers. Every single time. They are banning most of them, but they are not working on improving their anti-cheat system. They're just doing wave bans every single time. This does not fix anything. So we'll see how this ends up playing. Right now, I like the game. Honestly, I do not see myself playing this more than 6 months. As much as I love Solo Leveling, knowing it's Netmarble, knowing how much they're going to be monetizing it, and knowing that when they finish the normal story, they will go into bullshit and just
Its main
will
market
like,
is China. China is famous for their rampant hacking and cheating in games.
yeah, no surprises, yeah, and how much stuff they will invent for the game to keep to be able to keep updating it, right? New characters, new weapons, new events, because they will have to keep adding events and a story when the main story is done. What are they gonna do? They're gonna invent bullshit. So sooner or later, we'll see how the game plays out. We'll have to wait a couple months though. First month is gonna be inflated revenue since it's the release. Everyone wants to play. After 2 or 3 months, we'll see how it's doing, and if Netmarble was right, calling it the new cash cow, not by the term of marketing like we talked earlier, but as a literal cash cow, or they were capping. I think it's most likely going to be a new cash cow. It looks like it. Sadly, a lot of people like the IP and will get into the game. We'll see how it plays out though. I hope the game survives long enough to be able to enjoy it. There is a lot of characters that I like from the franchise, but I don't trust Netmarble. Same as Crunchyroll, I think they are two of the worst companies to make gacha games. That said, though, enough japping about Netmarble and Solar Leveling. Let's move into Stellar Blade for a little bit until Nike reset.
役立たずは楽園から追放するのみ。ブランとノワールのショータイムです。天地万物を切るとはこういうことだ。